Now, I don't know about you, but when I read the headlines and the national news about what's going on in the real estate world, it is really darn confusing. We hear all kinds of different, the homes are selling at high levels, homes are selling, not selling as well. And so it's just like, how do we make sense of this? And that's my goal. That's what we're going to do. This month's market report is going to bring that information to you for what's going on here in Southwest Florida. We've got some really interesting information. So every month what I do is I talk about the year over year numbers and I compare our two counties that we have here in Southwest Florida, where we have Lee County, which is Fort Myers, Cape Coral primarily, and then we have Collier County, primarily Naples and Marco Island. And so things aren't quite what you might expect given what you hear in the news, but that's why I give you the real information. This is what I do, and this is what I hope you get out of it. So let's jump right into it. Now, in terms of, this is single family homes, in terms of sold properties year over year, in Collier County, over the course of the past month, we had 504 homes that sold, and that's actually up 8% over last year. So there you go. We already have one thing saying that there's more sales than last year. And in Lee County, we're at 1,114 homes that sold, and that is up 10%. So more homes sold in 2024 over the past 30 days than they did in 2023. That's a good sign for the overall market, I would say. Now, here's what happens when it comes to prices. With the median price in Collier County, we're looking at $889,500. Now, if we look at our last month's report, it was actually quite a bit lower than that. So month over month, the number is actually up, but year over year, that's down 4%. So home prices have come down 4% in Naples. And then in Lee County, it's $425,000, which is down 3% over last year. So you can see we have small depreciation in the market, but we certainly are not seeing a scenario that so many experts have predicted to where prices would come down substantially. We're just not seeing that in the marketplace at this time. Now, days on market, we're at 56 days in Collier County. That's up 33%. And then we're at 50 days on market average before we get a contract in Lee County. That's up 52% year over year. So it is absolutely taking more time to sell a home in this market than it did last year. And by the way, last year it took more time than it did in 2022. And then 2022 took more time than it did in 2021. So we've really been looking at 3 years of consecutive lengthening out that time. But again, at around 50 to 60 days on market, that's nothing to be overly concerned about, because that means that there are still people who are buying homes, and that's just, it's just taking a little bit longer to sell. So that is what it is. Now, as we look at new listings here, we have 691 new listings that came on the market in Collier County. That is that's up 26%. So more listings coming on the market. That's a good sign if you're a buyer, okay? Then we have 1,974 in Lee County, and that's up 13%. So we have more listings in both counties, more options for buyers. And we'll talk about what's happened with the inventory and what that can mean going forward. Okay, now in terms of pending inventory, this is the amount of inventory that is currently under contract. We're at 1,114 in Collier County. That's up 27% year over year. So a lot more pending right now than they were last year. That's a big deal. And we're at 2,482 in Lee County, and that's up 4%. So gosh, I can't remember the last time that we did one of these market report videos where the number wasn't negative, meaning we had less. We've historically been having less that are pending than we did the year prior, and now we have more. So that's a really interesting tidbit of information. And then we get into our month's supply here. So we have, in Collier County, we have 9 months of supply, which is certainly beyond our 4 to 6 months equilibrium, putting us into major buyer's market territory in Collier County. That's up 84% year over year. And then we're at 6.6 months worth of supply, and that's up 74% year over year, and that's again in Lee County. So between 6 and 9 months worth of supply, those are pretty big numbers. Now, as we look at all of this, we also keep track of what happens on a weekly basis here at Gulf Point Properties, because we want to be able to advise you as what's going on in the market right now. The reality is the data that we're going over is, over the past 30 days. It's a little bit older data, but what's going on right now? And here's what I'll tell you when it comes to inventory. Our inventory basically since 2021, beginning of 2022, has been increasing. At the lowest part of the market, we were at 2,565 properties available in all of Southwest Florida that were available on the market for purchase. Then we fast forwarded to 2023, and we started that year with about 7,000 properties that were on the market. And then we started 2024, and we had about 14,000 properties that were on the market then. And then that continued to grow until about February. February of this year, we had about around 17,000 properties on the market. Now, that number may seem high compared to the 2,565 that were happening in the beginning of 2022. But let me tell you that we average in a normal market somewhere between 17 and 20,000 homes on the market because we are a big geographical area. That number of 17,000 doesn't mean that we have an exorbitant amount of inventory that will never be purchased. It's just we're a very large market, over 1 million people who live in Southwest Florida. So not a whole lot of things to be concerned about with 17,000 properties on the market. But the point that I want to make with all of this is that we have hovered around 17,000 properties available in Southwest Florida since February. So it's been over 3 months of time that we've hovered around the same inventory. So we're no longer adding inventory at the pace that we were. And from my perspective, that's a really good sign for prices stabilizing. Now we have some other factors that are against us. Like we have a lot of issues right now with insurance. Insurance is causing a lot of headaches for a lot of people. And we also have some issues in regards to the interest rates. Interest rates, we've all hoped that they would come down a bit more than they have, but they're holding steady there right around 7%. And so that puts a little bit of pressure on the market as well. Now, the good news for the overall market too is that in Southwest Florida, a lot of people don't need mortgages, right? A lot of people pay cash, and we have more than 50% of people are paying cash for transactions, especially in Collier County. And so that does a really good job of stabilizing the market. And we have, the ability for investors to pay cash and be able to get the returns that they want or need out there. So that's what's going on in the market. Let me know if you have any questions to follow up on that. I'm very happy to help, anxious to just give people all the information you can to make the best decision for you. And one other thing that I want to mention is that if you know anybody who is a first-time home buyer, there is an amazing program here in the state of Florida. It's called Hometown Heroes. And what that is it's meant for, teachers, police officers, doctors, a lot of first responders to be able to benefit from. But they've also expanded that to a first-time home buyer market, that there is an ability to get down payment assistance with no interest on any of that money. And that program launched, I think, about 1.5 years ago. It's been a tremendous success. And what happens is it runs out of money because so many people are utilizing that to be able to help purchase a home and afford a home. And so coming July 1st, we just got news that that's going to get an additional $100 million towards that program. And so if you know any first-time home buyers, have them reach out to us because we need to get them going if they're interested in buying, to set them up so that they can take advantage of the money that's there before it runs out, because it will run out, and it will run out quickly. And what our lenders are telling us is basically you need to have the property under contract prior to that July date. so that you can apply and already have the contract in place. So time is of the essence on that. And I want to put that out there because it's a big deal. And I know affordability is an issue for so many people. And we get a lot of satisfaction out of helping people become homeowners. So please have them reach out about that and we'd be happy to help. So as always, have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have a blessed day.